Hey guys, here's another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. It is a Thursday, which means I was here by myself. I feel like a lot's going on, or a lot went on today, despite being more or less functionally only one-handed right now. I know a lot of you have been kind of waiting to see this car. You can see it now, kind of. I'll do a video on this car by itself, like a very detailed walk around. But I did uncover it today because I actually took it for a quick spin after I finished reinstalling the front end. So we installed an IMPI stock width adjustable beam, which basically goes from stock height down. And I dropped the car probably about an inch and a half in front. The car is still stock height in back. You can see in back it's got slight positive camber, which is pretty much how they came. So I think we're gonna level it out. But yeah, I managed to get this back on the road today, or at least, to test drive it for the front suspension to settle. Initially, the way I had it adjusted, it was just about stock height, actually. It might have been like a tiny bit lower, but I wanted to kind of start high and then gradually get it to the right height. So the first time I actually adjusted it, then after getting it back together, I got it right here, and I'm pretty happy with this. I think the owner is, but we can go up or down a little bit to his heart's content. I really like the way it's looking right now. The gap between the tire and the fender is very even around it. He's got stock height tires, so we don't really want to go a lot lower because he might get into rubbing issues. Right now, the trailing arms are pretty much dead level, which the car is still going to ride good. Once the trailing arms start kind of pointing up this way, like when people slam cars a lot without using drop spindles, they start riding like dump trucks. So I think his car is going to ride really nice this way, and I think it kind of achieves that subtle look that he was going for. But he may want to stop in person and see it. If he likes this, then we'll go ahead and adjust the back accordingly. Probably about trying to achieve like maybe a 1/4 inch of rake, so 1/4 inch higher back here than up here. But yeah, I was pretty pleased with getting that back together today. Again, one-handed. So let's see, what else did I do today? One of our other shops that we partner with, a guy named Leo, who's actually the one wiring our EV Bug, he actually had a much nicer breastplate than the one that we had for the yellow Ghia. It doesn't look that nice now because it needs to be powder coated. But let me show the one that we had real quick. It would have looked fine on the car, and we had it powder coated and everything, but kind of had a bunch of holes in it. Those wouldn't really affect anything. Somebody may say, oh, it's going to pull a bunch of hot air through there. Yeah, that's nonsense. I don't think it would have affected the way the car ran or the temperature at all, these tiny holes. And it certainly wouldn't have shown when it was in the car. But we did manage to source a better one. So that one did need a little bit of love. It had actually, when I started looking at it closely, it had a little tear in it, about a 1/4 inch here and down here. So I took that and welded it up so it's not tore anymore there. And then a little bit of hammer and dolly work. This hole here was a little bit funky on this side, so I kind of straightened that up. Again, just kind of hammer and dolly work, straightening things up. But yeah, once this is powder coated, it's gonna look really, really nice. And then even the areas that you can't see are gonna look nice, unlike the other one. So yeah, I took care of that. And those of you might have noticed, or those of you, some of you anyway, God, tongue-tied today. Anyway, so this is the 21 window bus I've mentioned before. I think I've probably, kind of shown it real quick out the door there. This is one that we've been working on for a while. We've had a fellow that we use some finishing the body work on it, getting it ready for paint. It is ready for paint now, and It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, and this bus is just in primer. I don't want it getting filled up with water. I don't want rust starting to pop through the primer. Those of you that know primer know it's really not that great of a rust preventative unless it's got paint over the top of it. So yeah, I just didn't want this thing sitting outside. So we went ahead and shoved it in the shop, which made things a little crowded, but you know, we can fit 3 cars across here, no problem. So I went ahead and dragged that in today. I'm actually going to get a cover for it, and it may go back outside until it's in paint, and then of course it'll come in and stay in. So let's see, what else did I do today? I actually pulled the main wiring harness for the 71 Ghia, so you can see the back end of it hanging out here like spaghetti going everywhere. And on Ghias it's kind of easy because it actually goes over the rear fender, so you kind of have access to it back there, and then it goes under this rear bulkhead along the floor, and then it goes back up kind of alongside the kick panel there and into the front. So it's actually a bit easier than like say a Beetle, where it runs over the roof and you pretty much have access to it, you know, say here where it goes into the A pillar, and then at back where it comes out of the C pillar. On a Ghia, you kind of have several points where you can access it as you're pulling it along. So yeah, pretty easy. Anyway, here's the front of the main harness here, just kind of dangling out there. And there's the old harness there. We usually save those a lot of times inside of the conduit, the housing. The wires are usually pretty nice, and so we just kind of hold on to those. That way, if we need, you know, some particular wire with some particular color code, we can strip it out of one of these old harnesses. You never know when you're going to need a piece of wire, and we of course like to use wires that have the correct color codes on them when possible. So yeah, we go ahead and save those, providing they're in good shape. Anyhow, so I think those are kind of what I did today. Oh, I know what else I did. We had a pretty ugly intake manifold for the Ghia. This is the 1600 dual port for the Ghia, that looked like it had been manufactured by a gorilla with a 40-pound sledgehammer. We had it powder coated and stuff, but it just, the heater tubes coming out had big kind of dents on them, and that's the way it actually came. And so the owner wasn't really happy with it. I wasn't really happy with it either. You know, once all the heater tubes and everything were in, it really wouldn't have shown, but it's just kind of knowing that it's there looking ugly. So I actually managed to source a good original one, and that one just needed a little bit of straightening out of the driver's side heater tube. Applied some heat, straightened that out, made sure it fit everywhere as far as bolting to the exhaust, going to the end castings, and then sent that one out for powder coating. So yeah, it's going to look good. It's kind of that and then this breastplate here are kind of the final pieces of this motor that we're wanting to, you know, make it look really, really good. So I think that is it for today. Again, I feel like I had a pretty productive day given my temporary handicap here. So I guess tomorrow I'll see what I can get done. I'll probably work some more on wiring up this Ghia here. And then Monday I'm out. It's official. I'm having surgery on Monday. I've got a time now, which I didn't have before. I think it's at, got to show up at 9, so surgery's at 10:30 or something like that. I probably will not be in on Monday. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, have a good one.